state grant could help Sandy Neck officials deal with erosion. The Barnstable Police Street Crimes Unit makes 5 arrests, and we learn about Brothers First, a new exhibit at the JFK Hyannis Museum. These stories and more on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Tuesday, June 9th, 2015. I'm Sarah Mantle. Sandy Neck staff hope a grant will help find new solutions to erosion at the popular beach. Beach Park Manager Nina Coleman will submit an application for the Coastal Zone Management Grant by the end of this week.
The grant, the way we're looking at the grant is to have it fund what's called an alternative analysis. So providing option A, B, and C. So a professional consultant would provide that and present that at a workshop, gather public information, public comment, and then with the board come up with the chosen solution, A, B, or C, and then the grant would further fund the chosen solutions, permitting, and design.
The Sandy Neck Board will write a letter to the state's Office of Coastal Zone Management asking for their support. The Cape Cod Commission is working to update its regional policy plan. The Commission hopes that key players across the Cape will weigh in on the plan using a new tool called Envision. Chief Planner Sharon Rooney talked about the tool and how it can be used.
So I'm just wrapping up the Envision Tomorrow online tool. We hope to have that available in the next couple of weeks. We've been using that. Felicia, I know, has participated in being one of our beta testers for this tool, and I think she's had a lot of fun using it, and others have as well. So we'll have that available in the coming weeks. And if you're interested in the current RPP and the Commission tools that we've talked about tonight, as David said, they're available on our website, capecodcommission.org/blackbox. And we'll be working on developing the new RPP over the summer and another set of stakeholder meetings to review the draft and the alternate land use scenarios in the fall.
You can learn more about the Cape Cod Commission's regional policy plan by visiting capecodcommission.org. It's been a busy week for the Barnstable Police Department's Street Crime Unit. Police Chief Paul McDonald says the unit made 5 arrests over the last week.
2 of them were for motor vehicle charges, one Saturday and one Friday and one Saturday night. The first gentleman that was arrested was Jonathan Cotel, who was well known to the street crime unit. Anytime he shows up, they keep an eye on him. He was operating a motor vehicle. They knew his license was suspended, and he was subsequently arrested for operating after suspension. The other motor vehicle arrest was Sergeant McGinn, observed the vehicle who was assigned to street crime unit from the Mass State Police, observed a vehicle on Barnstable Road travel over the island in the middle of the road, and a Robert Schaff from Marshfield was eventually arrested, charged with operating a motor vehicle under the influence of alcohol. The other arrest was 2 adult males on Friday night, flagged down Officer Wright, who was assigned to street crime unit, and he told them that they had just picked up an individual who needed a ride. They gave him a ride a short distance. They offered him some alcohol. When the kid pulled out his wallet to pay for him, he reached in and stole the kid's money and took off on foot. The street crime unit and Barnstable Canine Officer Sean Roycroft eventually found him. And the individual was identified as Brian J. Walls, age 42, of Barnstable, and he is very well known to the Barnstable Police Department.
The department was not only busy with those arrests. McDonald says 2 Barnstable officers assisted with a surprise delivery.
Last Tuesday on June 2nd at 11:08 p.m., Officer Armando Feliciano and Corbin Fries, they responded to the Hyannis area motel for an unknown medical emergency. Upon their arrival, they were directed to a room by a bystander. And when they entered the room, they found a woman in advanced labor and about to deliver a child. And Officer Feliciano and Corbin Fries delivered their first baby girl. By the time the rescue got there, they'd already made the delivery. So it was a very exciting night for those 2 officers.
And more good news for the department. McDonald says Town Council approved funding for an additional 2 officers.
The Town Council, Town Manager, very supportive of the police department. Actually, our authorized fare got bumped up by 2 officers. It goes from 115 officers to 117 officers. 1 officer officers will be our community affairs officer, which will be assigned directly to the regulatory services. The second officer, once he gets hired, will be assigned to the community impact unit. As you know, the community impact unit started approximately a year ago, but they are simply overwhelmed with the amount of work that they have to do. They had no idea it would take so long. Just dealing with one client takes hours upon hours to rectify the situation.
McDonald says he is glad the community impact unit is getting the help they need. Within 2 weeks, carbon filtration units will be installed at the Mary Dunn well fields to help clear out emerging contaminants in the system. DPW Director Dan Santos says that his department is taking a number of steps to rectify the situation.
And our plan was to rent and install 2 carbon filtration units. These are very large trailer-mounted vessels that treat the water and remove the contaminants before it gets into the water system. So the town council did an emergency appropriation for us, agreed to that, and we got those it's 2 systems we're renting and got those on order. And those are probably 2 weeks out now, so they're being put together by the manufacturer and they'll be shipped here like I say, we should have them in about 2 weeks. So that's one part of the solving the issue. Second is we had to do some repiping and reconfiguration out at where the wells are themselves and connecting them together. And so that work actually has been done. Another part was we have to prepare the sites where these are going to go. Basically, the Mary Dunn wells are out in the woods, and there's no room for this equipment. So we had to put together plans and specifications, and we went out to bid on a fast-track system.
Residents should be aware that our water is completely safe and does not pose a harm at all. Today, the JFK Hyannis Museum celebrated the grand opening of their new exhibit, Brothers First. Channel 18's Sarah Colvin has more.
The voices of Hyannis West Elementary School third graders rang out from the JFK Hyannis Museum patio this morning, signifying the opening of a brand new exhibit.
And crowned with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea.
Designed by Roger Westerman, Jack and Bobby, Brothers First, takes an intimate look at the connection between the famous Kennedy siblings.
But he really brought together for the museum and for all who visit a great way of presenting a special story of 2 brothers that you can see through the vision of the photos and the text were special from the very beginning and close, who also in the sense of history and public service did quite a bit together, and you'll hear more on that in a second. He also really captured the lens of Cape Cod that we have around this whole legacy and story of John F. Kennedy and the Kennedy story, and also the history that took place on Cape Cod. And you see that in some of the exhibits and photos that you'll be seeing.
The Consul General of Japan in Boston attended this morning's opening.
Now that we have Karen Kennedy as the U.S. ambassador in Tokyo, but also, as Karen was speaking the other day when she was in Boston, she knows the Japanese people respect and love the Kennedy accomplishments. She was quoting one example. She has encountered so many people, including a very senior Japanese politician.
Rebecca Pierce-Merrick, co-founder and curator of the JFK Hyannis Museum, is looking forward to sharing the brothers' story through this exhibit.
When I turn around and look at this photo, which is such a beautiful image and one of those that hasn't been seen before, we read Edward Kennedy's quote, "My brothers were my dearest friends. They were just human beings and wanted to be considered that way. But they were extraordinary."
The JFK Hyannis Museum, located on Main Street, Hyannis, is open to the public Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Sundays noon to 5. For Channel 18, I'm Sarah Cole.
We do have a meeting this evening here at Town Hall. The Conservation Commission meets tonight at 6:30 in the Town Hall hearing room. We'll be sure to tune in to our hour-long news program, Barnstable This Morning, weekdays at 7 a.m. On tomorrow's show, we will get the latest Barnstable County real estate numbers from Register of Deeds Jack Mead. We'll learn more about that Brothers First exhibit at the JFK Hyannis Museum, and we'll have all the news and information you need. For Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Mannel.